Alright, so factorials are this little exclamation point that we have here. When you take the factorial of a number, you're multiplying that number times every number that comes before it. So 8 factorial is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. But 1 times anything is just itself, so you don't really need to multiply the 1. Some calculators have the little exclamation point button, like the phone calculator has it. So you could put 8 and then click that exclamation point. When you turn it sideways, it has it. Some calculators don't have it, but that's fine because we can always just type into our calculator 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So 8 factorial is 40,320. All right, let's take a look at number 5. So we have 4 factorial over 2 factorial. So 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which I'm not going to write the 1 because we don't need it because 1 times anything is the same thing. And then on the bottom, I have 2 times 1. Again, don't really need the 1. Anytime you have something on the top that's the same as something on the bottom, they cancel out. So do I have anything that's the same here? 2. 2 and 2. So then what am I left with? 4 times 3. And what's 4 times 3? 12. So my answer is 12. Didn't even need the calculator for this one. Any questions on that one? All right, let's look at number 7. So I have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 on the top and 3 times 2 on the bottom. Does anything cancel? The 3 and the 2. So then I'm just left with 6 times 5 times 4. What's 6 times 5 times 4? 120. Perfect. Because 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. Because it's that number times everything that comes before it. All right, let's do number 9. We have 2 numbers on the bottom here. So the top is 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. The bottom is 7 factorial times 3 factorial. You can't multiply 7 times 3. It does not work that way. You have to do 7 factorial, so that is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2, and then 3 factorial is 3 times 2. So we just multiply that 3 times 2. So times 3 times 2. So this 7 factorial is this part, and 3 factorial is just this part. And we just multiply it together. Do we have anything that cancels out? 3 and 2. Anything else? 5s and the 4s, and 6s and the 7s. So on the top, what am I left with? 9 times 8. And on the bottom, what am I left with? 3 times 2. So notice how I canceled out these 3s and 2s, but I didn't cancel out these. You can only cancel out one thing at the top with one thing at the bottom. So even though I have 2 3s on the bottom, I can't cancel out both of them unless I had 2 3s on the top. So you can only cancel out one thing with one thing. What's 9 times 8? 72. And what is 3 times 2? 6. And what's 72 divided by 6? 12. Perfect. So our answer is 12. For these questions, I need to see all your work. I want to see everything written out. So you can't just put it all into the calculator. I got to see it all written out like we're doing here. All right, last one, let's do 11. What's going to be on the top? What is 5 factorial? 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. What goes on the bottom? 2. So it would be like 2 times 1, but 1 times 2 is just 2. So anything cancel? The 2's. So what am I left with? 5 times 4 times 3. And what's 5 times 4 times 3? 60. So I did almost half of them. You guys have 7 more to do, and it's due at the end of class. So just get them done real quick and turn it in. One more thing that could come up if you took like the SAT or something. That's why we're doing these. It's not like an actual section in the book, but questions like these can show up on the SAT, which you guys will all be taking next year. 1 factorial is what? 1, because it's just like 1 times nothing, which is just 1. What do you think 0 factorial is? Not 0. This one's a little bit tricky. 1. It's kind of weird that it's 1, but it's 1. So 1 factorial is 1 and 0 factorial is 1.